Okay, shalom, everyone. We're in Job chapter 13, but we're going to start off first with Brother D-Rail. He wants to give a quick recap of chapter 12.
I was helping you guys with it because I had to cut out early last Shabbat.
Oh, gotcha. So, my bad.
My bad.
Well, anybody want to give a recap of 12 real quick, Doug?
Yeah, sure. I have the New Living Translation that is Study Bible published by the Tyndale Publishers. Okay, so a recap of chapter 12, basically, Job is talking to Zophar, and basically he's defending himself to one of his friends about, am I really wrong about this? Have I sinned? Because all of his friends have accused him of sinning. And that's why all these crazy things that happened to him, like losing his goods, losing all his family, dying and all that. So pretty much he's arguing with this guy, and and the guy's telling him, this stuff wouldn't happen to you if you were, living righteous. So that's pretty much a recap of chapter 12. And then towards the end, he starts talking about the wise judges becomes fools. So that's pretty much a recap of chapter 12. It's just Job arguing with Zophar and defending himself, and Job, just ultimately feeling like unjustly these things have happened to him. So.
All right. With that being said, if anybody got any questions, feel free to ask. But we'll go to 13 right now. Okay. And Doug will be starting for us.
Okay. So everyone that's listening to this recording, I will state my translations to New Living Translation Study Bible by the Tyndale Publishers. And title of this chapter 13 is Job wants to argue his case with Yahuwah. Verse 1, look, I have seen all this with my own eyes and heard it with my own ears, and now I understand. I know as much as you do. You are no better than I am. As for me, I would speak directly to the Almighty. I want to argue my case with Yahuwah himself. As for you, you swear me with lies. As physicians, you are worthless quacks. That's crazy. He's talking about doctors. If only you could be silent. That's the wisest thing you could do. Listen to my charge. Pay attention to my arguments. Are you defending Yahuwah with lies? Do you make your dishonest arguments for his sake? Will you slant your testimony in his favor? Will you argue Yahuwah's case for him? What will happen when he finds out what you are doing? Can you fool him as easily as you fool people? No, you will be in trouble with him. If you secretly slant your testimony in his favor, doesn't his majesty terrify you? Doesn't your fear on him overwhelm you? Your platitudes are as valuable as ashes. Your defense is as fragile as a clay pot. Be silent now and leave me alone. Let me speak, and I will face the consequences. Yes, I will take my life in my hands and say what I really think. Yahuwah might kill me, but I have no other hope. I am going to argue my case with him, but this is what will save me. I am not unrighteous. If I were, I would not stand before him. Listen closely to what I am about to say. Hear me out. I have prepared my case. I will be proved innocent. Who can argue with me over this? And if you prove me wrong, I will remain silent and die. O Yahuwah, grant me these two things, and then I will be able to face you. Verse 21, remove your heavy hand from me, and don't terrify me with your awesome presence. Now summon me and I will answer, or let me speak to you and you reply. Tell me what I have done wrong. Show me my rebellion and my transgression. Why do you turn away from me? Why do you treat me as your enemy? Would you terrify a leaf blown by the wind? Would you chase dry straw? You write bitter accusations against me and bring up all the transgressions of my youth. You put my feet in stocks. You examine all my paths. You trace all my footprints. I waste away like rotting wood, like a moth-eaten coat.
Heavy, heavy, heavy. I don't blame Job, man. I mean, I can't even relate with this guy. Not even 1%. So you guys feel free to share any thoughts that you have, but he's asked, first of all, he makes a declaration that he's not giving up his faith in Yahuwah, even if Yahuwah kills him. That's powerful. Even if he strikes me dead, even if he plans to strike me dead, I'm still going to be faithful to him. So, he's letting us, that's a good foundation right there. Regardless of all the questions and stuff he asked afterwards, looks like he's doubting Yahuwah, but he just made a declaration, I'm not doubting him. But what's up? And I think he has such a great relationship with Yahuwah, he can do that. So, and he's asking a lot of questions. What's up? What's my sin? What did I do wrong? Why are you treating me like your enemy? I mean, it might sound like something wrong to do to the Father, but being in his case, I think being a human being, he's showing that he's still human. He would like to know. And it's kind of humbling that he thinks he could have done something wrong. That's humbling. I might have done something wrong. What did I do? But anyway, it's a very, very depressing chapter for sure. And we know what the truth is because we're reading this. Job didn't get to read this. All of this gets found out later on. So he gets to go through this. We're actually getting to see it. We got to see the whole beginning and how Satan was, trying to make a deal with the Father to try to get Job to fall from the faith. And the Father trusts that Job won't do it. So the Father is not treating Job like an enemy. He actually believes in Job, and he trusts that he can do this. He can get through this. That sounds very cruel to any unbeliever listening to this recording or reading the book of Job. They will not. I do not recommend to somebody new to the scriptures to read the book of Job. It is very, very. It's like, why would he do that? It seems like he's a cruel God. But if anybody can relate to sports or any kind of athletic or any kind of physical, laborious kind of work, you might understand the concept of sometimes your leaders, your captains, your coaches will put you in a position that is extremely difficult because they believe in you. And although it's extremely difficult and seems impossible to get through, they believe that you can get through it. And when you get through it, it makes you stronger than you were before. And it proves him right as the boss. So that's just a small example that I can bring to the table. Just trying to, this is definitely more than that. This is the guy's life, family, his goods being taken, his health being affected. I mean, this is definitely another level, but I just want to throw in there that it's kind of the same concept. Anybody else got anything to say?
What I got from this is that he has so much confidence in himself in obeying Yahuwah that he's actually challenging Yahuwah. He's got to tell me I've sinned. Please show me the sin. That's where I kind of got uneasy reading that. I'm like, whoa, all right, bud, I don't care how righteous you are. You're challenging the Almighty right now to tell you if you've sinned. That kind of got me like, whoa, okay, I think he's forgetting his place. I think he's going a little
I can understand him being upset, angry, depressed. I can understand that he's human, but I feel like he's almost crossing a point with how he's saying, please show me my sin. Where he's saying, tell me if I've sinned in any way. Like, it's kind of like he's so confident in himself that he feels like he hasn't sinned. And, it's like, it just reminds me of what it says in Romans, no one can go before you who are righteous. And it's like, I think, like, it's easy for me to say that because I'm not in his situation, but it kind of, like, reminds me that, we can't forget who is we're the clay, who is the potter. We should be, looking at who like we're his equal, like we deserve an explanation.
And I don't know how Job was saying it. It's kind of hard to see that because we're reading text. We're not really there. Because we're just reading the question. Yeah. We don't know if he's asking it in sincerity, like, did I sin? Did I do something wrong, Father? Like, what did I do? Or is he saying, show me if I sinned? Did I do something wrong? Go ahead, I'm waiting. You can't really get, I don't know how you're seeing it, but that's how you see it. And, it is what it is. That's why we have these discussions. That's how Doug is seeing it. I don't see it that way. I see him, he's broken. I see that he's broken. His heart is contrite. He's completely broken, extremely humbled, frustrated, angry, and he's just asking. I see it as him being sincere. He sincerely doesn't know where he went wrong. He doesn't know, and rightfully so. I mean, if you're an upright man, if your walk is very upright, you got a reputation of being an upright person. People might think it's prideful of you, but it's going to be hard for you to pick at what you did wrong. Because I really think I've been doing a decent job. Like, what did I do wrong? And because of the fact that the majority of the world, or majority of believers, don't have a walk like that, we all can't relate with it. And we think a person is prideful. When a person is being very sincere and genuine, like, I don't struggle with the sins you struggle with, man. I just don't. And so I see it as Job being very sincere. Doug might see it as a little challenge. But
yeah, I just feel like Job is.
And we don't have to beat a dead horse at all.
No, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I wanted to add on what you were saying about Yahuwah is going to put us through. This is a great lesson because Yahuwah is going to put us through this stuff. Job's not the only person that got put through the fire to be refined. I mean, Yahuwah talks about that in the book of Isaiah. I'm going to refine them. And in end time context, I'm going to refine them like a refiner's fire.
Yeah.
Turn them into gold. Good. So, I mean, he's putting all of us through that. And, that's the whole point of the Great Tribulation. That's the whole point of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because even in sports, I always learned from my dad growing up, no pain, no gain. So, you want to grow in your faith, you're going to have to go through a lot of stuff.
All right. Anybody else want to share anything? We kind of. Go ahead, Brother D-Rail. Oh. All right, we can go on to the next chapter.
Oh, I had something. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I have my hand raised. Oh, you're not using the hand raise?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking right at it. I'm not even paying attention. My bad. I got John Atkins and Miracles with their hand raised. My fault.
Okay, because I thought the hand raise and unmute. But no, I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing to ask that question. I think it's something that we should be asking. I mean, I've done it myself in various afflictions where I've asked Yahuwah, is it because of sin? And it comes out of sincerity, or at least I can speak for myself, and saying, I need to know because I need to know what I need to change. What do I need to get rid of? What is it, Father, talk to me so I know what is it that's not pleasing to you, or is it not? Is it just a curse? Is it generational? Is it something you're just, everything's okay, but you're just literally just testing me and allowing me to go through a test? So I think it's a good question. I think it's something that we should ask. And again, I think you guys are just driving to the point of how we are asking. And I think that's the good theme of, what is our heart? And I agree with you, babe, that, we can't fully see it based on a text. I mean, we're going to get Yahuwah's response later, so I'm just going from now. But Oh, the cricket is my windows open. There's the chirping in the background. Um, but yeah, I think it's how we approach Yahuwah. You know, he is our father, he is our bridegroom. Um, he is the king, he's the creator, and I think we should go to him for various things and ask him, you know, Yahuwah, you know, even David praised it in various psalms, like, you know, what's the sins within my heart? What's the things that I cannot see and I do not know? Reveal it to me so that we know how to walk uprightly in him. So that was it.
Excellent. I agree. Brother John,
Hey, how's it going?
good. Great.
Excellent.
Sorry I didn't see your hand, man. I was totally like not even paying attention, but from this
Hey, man,
point, I
you're
will.
human. It's not a problem. But I just kind of wanted to tack one and say, just kind of from a different kind of perspective is, you know, Job is asking the Most High these questions, and we don't necessarily know in context of what he's asking if he's asking solely for himself, because, you know, Job is being made an example of kind of in his situation, and there's going to be people around him that want to know why that is. And, you know, him having the faith that he has, he's telling them that, you know, he's going to stay faithful, you know, to the Most High until the end. But there's people around him that may be speculating, like, you know, does this God even like you? What are you doing wrong type of deal, as opposed to, you know, just him thinking about it from that perspective. He could be thinking about the people that, you know, he may possibly be trying to minister to, because, like, you know, he's coming to minister to people and, you know, all these bad things are happening in his life. They're like, yo, I don't know if I want to follow your God if your God treats you this way. You know what I mean? So I think it's genuine questions to ask.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's not like a hurricane like is going on right now. It's going to take out a whole state. This is like an isolated man's life being destroyed, you know? So it's like, yeah, I mean, that's definitely could send a wrong message in the wrong person's mind. All right. Anybody else want to jump in real quick before we go to the next chapter? We might be able to fit one more in before the recording ends. I would like to read. No takers? Okay. Here we go. Chapter 14. And I'm going to read from which one? I'll read from the scriptures 2009. All right. Man born of woman is a few days and turmoil filled. So man born of woman is a few days and turmoil filled. I guess it's talking about the pain that a woman goes through in birth, childbearing. He comes forth like a flower and withers, or talking about the actual man, the actual child being born. He flees like a shadow and does not continue. Yet on such a one you open your eyes and bring me to right ruling with yourself. Oh snap. Who brings the clean out of the unclean? No one. Who brings the clean out of the unclean? Can we flip things? Can we flip everything that is unclean around and make it holy? Let's flip everything and turn it around and make it holy. Let's put a good spin on it, a holy spin. I've heard a lot of that in Christianity. They're always trying to flip something unholy and trying to make it holy. You know what I mean? I can go all day about that, but leave it for now. Since his days are decided, the number of his new moons or new months is with you. You have made his laws, and he does not pass over. So he's sovereign. Yahuwah is sovereign. Look away from him and let him rest, till, like a hired man, he enjoys his day. Not liking this. Look away from him that he may rest until he accomplishes as a hireling his day. I just switched to the web version, by the way. Gave up on the scriptures 2009. Verse 7, for there is hope for a tree if it is cut down, that it will sprout again, that the tender branch of it will not cease. All right, we got some hope coming in here in the midst of some pain and the frailty of human life. We got a little bit of hope. There is hope for a tree if it is cut down, that it will sprout again. Hallelujah. Verse 8, though its root grows old in the earth and its stock dies in the ground, yet through the scent of water it will bud and sprout boughs like a plant. But man dies and is laid low. Yes, man gives up the spirit. And where is he? As the waters fail from the sea and the river wastes and dries up, so man lies down and doesn't rise. Well, we all know we will rise. It'll just take a while, depending on when you die. The resurrection. Until the heavens are no more. Oh, there it goes. Until the heavens are no more, they will not awake. So he understands the resurrection, nor be roused out of their sleep. All right, Job understands the resurrection. Not foreign to the Torah believers or people in the Old Testament. The Tanakh. Oh, that you would hide me in Sheol. Sheol is the New Testament's hell, which I think is a horrible term for the grave, but yeah, it's the grave, right?
My translation actually puts grave.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. Sheol is the place of the dead. That's the Hebrew word Sheol. That you would keep me secret until your wrath is past, that you would appoint me a set time and remember me. So basically, kill me. Kill me and let your wrath pass and then resurrect me when everything is all said and done, because I don't want to go through any of this. If a man dies, will he live again? I would wait all the days of my warfare until my release should come. You would call, and I would answer you. You would have a desire for the work of your hands. But now you count my steps. Don't you watch over my sin? My disobedience is sealed up in a bag. You fastened up my iniquity. So he's acknowledging Yahuwah is definitely all-knowing. He's sovereign. He's in control. He's very aware of this in the midst of Job's pain. But the mountains falling comes to nothing. The rock is moved out of its place. The waters wear the stones. The torrents of it wash away the dust of the earth. So you destroy the hope of man. So you destroy the hope of man. You forever prevail against him, and he departs. You change his face and send him away. His sons come to honor, and he doesn't know it. They are brought low, but he doesn't perceive it of them. But his flesh on him has pain, and his soul within him mourns. Wow, what do you guys make of this? Probably a little mix of feelings, or what do you think? It's consistent, or is he wrestling?
He's saying basically that the life of a human is nothing. He's basically saying that, kind of like what King Solomon says in Ecclesiastes, I think he's like, all is vanity. All is vanity for the toil of man under the sun. Basically meaning like, we're nothing. Why do you care so much about us? Why are you bringing me into right ruling? Why are you testing me like this? Like, I'm nothing but a carnal being. I'm here today, gone tomorrow. Like, why do you care about me? That's pretty much the theme of this chapter. That's what I get.
All right. Bobby and Kristen? There you go.
Yeah, pretty much says it from the start in verse 1 and 2. Man born of woman is of few days and turmoil filled. He comes forth like a flower and withers. He flees like a shadow and does not continue. From the beginning, man's days are numbered. And he's full of turmoil throughout. He comes into the world like a beautiful flower, and then he perishes. walking in the flesh and not in the spirit. And that is a life full of turmoil. And the rest is pretty much, you know, pretty much that's summed up. Without Yahuwah, without walking in the spirit, we die. We need to be born in him, walk in the spirit, or we wither. That flower is no longer beautiful.
Right on. Yeah, so the life of a righteous man goes through testing. You know, there might be a lot of wicked people out in the world, right, that are seemingly free from troubles, you know, like rich people, right? Sometimes we see rich people as they don't have the same problems we do. But the truth is they might, and they might not. It could be legit that they're living life. I mean, they're living it. That's why you never preach the gospel to a rich person and tell them you can get happiness and your life will get better, because their life is great already. Why do I need to accept the Messiah? That's why it's all about righteousness. It's all about being right with the Father. It has nothing to do with our materialistic, economic situation. The gospel has nothing to do with that. That's like a subcategory. That can be, you know, a benefit package, but it's all about we're wicked, we're sinful, and we need to be made right with the Creator. Because there's some rich people that they're living life. They ain't got no problems. They're probably going through emotional issues and probably going through depression and anxiety because they had sex with so many people and killed so many people and did so many people wrong and probably stomped on so many people to get to the place that they're at. You know, who knows what people did to get to the place that they're at? Who knows? Nobody knows. But, you know, but Job right now is relating. And Job, I would say, was a wealthy guy. He had a lot of stuff. Yeah, I would say he's a pretty wealthy guy. He had it going on. And he's relating with the frailty of humanity, the depravity of humanity. Let's put it that way. I remember hearing that term before. The depravity of humanity. We're wasting away every day. Our body is decaying every second.
Fallen state.
Yep, the fallen state. Absolutely.
So yeah, I just want to add that King Solomon had the same thoughts, like all over his books.
He was rich.
And he would even say, why does the wicked prosper? Why do they get all these riches? Why do they get all this? Like Solomon asked himself, and he was rich. And he was like, why?
Was he talking about himself?
No.
Wink, wink, maybe?
Towards the end of his life.
Life.
But in the beginning, he's
was
asking about, you know, these Gentiles. Why do they have all these materialistic things? Why are they succeeding when the righteous are suffering?
Egypt, Babylon.
Why?
All these great nations.
Why do they have all this glory? Why do they have all this esteem, yet the people of Yahuwah are suffering? So he talked about that a lot. King David talked about it in the Psalms. Why do the wicked prosper? Why are you not coming to help me, Yahuwah, when they're persecuting me?
And how do we respond to that, Doug? Because that's a legit question. How do we respond? What would you see Yahuwah's answer being to that? I know what I think he would say.
What?
Don't covet the wicked.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them. Yeah. They're gonna reap what they sow. Don't covet what they have. Don't covet to be like them. Trust me, you don't want to. That's not the life to be living, because they will reap what they sow. That's the answer I think Yahuwah would say. Yeah. He tells us to stay focused on him, stay focused on truth, on scripture, on living right, living set apart, and let him, you know, bless us. And, you know, blessings come too by us working hard. I mean, we reap what we sow here on the earth too. And you know, we do the best of our ability with what we have access to. You know, we can prosper by showing good work ethic, and depending on where we live, right? I think this would probably be slightly different if I lived in a third world country. I probably couldn't speak the same way because, you know, we have less resources and less access. But those of us who live in America in a more developed world, we have more opportunity to be prosperous than somebody in a less developed country. You know, what I'm talking about right now is probably slightly foreign to somebody who probably listening to this video who lives in a more undeveloped country. But anyway, I digress. Who's first, Bobby or Miracles?
I think Bobby and Kristen.
Bobby and Kristen. Go ahead, and then Miracles.
No, I think that was from before. Do I have to lower my hand? Or
I can lower it for you, no problem. Thank you.
sorry.
So Miracles, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the purpose of gaining the whole world but losing your soul? And I think that would be to sum it up, basically.
That's a good one right there. Yep, that's a great one. Yahusha's words himself.
And just to add, the prophecy of the final kingdom being destroyed is actually given to the saints. In the book of Daniel, I think it's chapter 7, I believe, talks about that beast kingdom will be given to the saints of the Most High. So,
Oh, is that what the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous might mean?
yeah,
Ah,
so they have it for a season. They're wealthy for a season. We're reaping the rewards of the kingdom. That's a lot more.
interesting. All right, so we'll end the recording there, unless anybody else has anything they want to share. Pretty much a consistent theme here. Yahuwah is sovereign. Yahuwah tests us. He can test us if he wants. He has the authority. He has the right. We are his children. Like Doug said, Romans chapter 9. He's the potter. We are the clay. Who are we to ask him, why have you made me this way? That's Romans chapter 9. It's all about his sovereignty. So, but we are human. We're not robots that don't have emotions. Okay? We definitely are human, and I think the Father knows that. He understands that. So we'll end the recording. That was Job chapter 14.